Welcome back, guys. So this is my for loop we just have completed in the last video. Now let's move on to the next loop, which is while loop. Now, as I said, while loop is for infinite conditions where you don't know when you want to complete the loop. While loop is the best bet. So you can have a condition pre-checked, and if the condition is satisfied, then you can go for the loop. The loop will continue until the condition is satisfied. Fine. So you can see the syntax here. While some condition until it is true, this will keep running. Okay, that's what condition, and then we call this as preconditional check. Like for example, you go to a cinema theater, the ticket is checked before you enter. Correct? The ticket is checked before you enter. Whereas in case of a, let's say, a train, you enter into the train, and after it moves, after some time, fine, the TT will come and check the ticket. So your journey gets started. Whereas in a cinema theater, when you can't even enter without a ticket. So here the condition is pre-checked, whereas in train the condition is post-checked. So that's what the real difference between while and do while. So while the loop will never run if the condition is not satisfied. Whereas in do while, the loop will run at least once. Okay. Now in every programming language, you will have provisions for both while and do while. But as far as Python is concerned, while is given directly, whereas do while you need to do it in a different way. Now let's run this and check this out in Python. So here, if I have, let's say I equal to 10, while I is greater than 0, which means I until I is greater than 0, I want to run this loop. So now if I want, I can say print. Okay, I'm giving this, and after that I would say I equal to I plus 1. I equal to I plus 1, sorry, I minus 1, because I want to decrement that. So until it reaches 0, this loop will run. See this. So we have a condition here. If the condition is true, then the loop runs. In case, let's say, if it is 0 in the start itself, then this loop will not even get executed once. True or not? This will not even get executed. So until this particular expression returns true, this loop runs. Until this expression returns true, this loop runs continuously. In fact, we also have an option called as while true. While true is an infinite loop. Like say print, fine, I am unstoppable, something. So if I give while true, because until the condition is true, the loop runs. If I directly give true, what happens? It will keep on running. You see, it's an unstoppable loop. So if you want to stop that, then you got to terminate. You got to terminate. Okay, comes out with an interruption. So this is also a loop, but this is called as infinite loops. This is called as, we don't do that. We don't do that. But there are cases where we may need an infinite loop. So infinite loop is something which will always get executed. So we can use this itself as a formula to achieve do while, because directly you don't have do while. You see, in other languages you'll have something like this, and you'll have condition like this. So this condition, fine, will be checked after the loop is executed. But unfortunately or fortunately, we don't have this no do while in Python as a direct support, but we can achieve it. See here, the purpose of do while is once the loop should get executed, correct? So this will get executed definitely. This will get executed definitely. So what I'll do is I will try to get an input from the user here. Like say, fine, input, enter a number, enter a number. Okay. Then I will have a conditional check. If n, fine, is equal to 10. If I'm checking whether n is equal to 10, okay, if n is equal to 10, fine, I use a statement. This statement we call it as, fine, jumping statements. We have two jumping statements. One is break and continue. I'll use a break here. Break means break out of the loop. Break out of the loop, fine. Otherwise I'm saying print the number entered is. What I'm trying to say is run this loop and accept a number. If the number is 10, break. And if the number is not 10, continue. So this loop will continue until you press 10. Fine. And you need to give int of, right? Because it's a number. So now let me run this. See, it says int. I give 1 11, 23. See, the loop gets executed at least once, but it gets terminated after I give 10. Okay, irrespective of what is the status, the loop always runs. Even if I have n equal to 10 in the initial stage itself, still the loop will run because the condition is checked inside the loop. Now this is what we called as simulation of do while loop, whereas this is while loop. Could you get the difference? While loop may the condition is checked before the loop is executed. Do while may the condition is checked after the loop is executed. See, people from other languages who are familiar with C, Java, and all, you find it very easy. But if you are new to Python, also, this is a easy loop. Right? These are the basic constructs of a program: for loop, if else if, while loop, do while loop. Hope you would have enjoyed this. Fine. More we can see. Fine. As I said, we will have lab books in this. So many exercises can be done. Plenty of experiments can be done. Make yourself comfortable on the syntax. Understand this. I mean, with pinpoint clearance. Then doing an exercise using this is not going to be a difficult part itself. It will be a cakewalk for you. Good. Okay. So now let's move on to the next one. See, here also I have given some on code. Try this out. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. Break we already saw. Well, let's see break one more time. We also have one more keyword called as continue. Now let's combine these two and let's try to see what exactly is break and continue. Break will break from the loop. The loop will get, I mean, terminated. Whereas continue is actually does not break the loop, rather it will continue the loop. See, please understand, continue means it will not go to the next statement, it will continue the loop. So without going to the next statement, it will continue the loop. Whereas break, without going to the next statement, it will break the loop. So there is a difference between break and continue. These two are called as jumping statements, and C language supports it, Java language supports it, and Python also supports it. You could see here, break will find remaining body of the loop and get exit. Fine. In case if it is not, break is not called, remaining body will get executed. If break is called, then immediately it exits the loop. Whereas continue, see, if continue is yes, then the loop continues, it does not go to the exit, the loop continues. If no continue, it will run with the loop, will run with that, I mean it will run the remaining part of the loop and then get executed. So let's see this in action. If for example, let's say I have a val equal to, fine, Danish. Now I say for I in val, or I in val, I'm checking if I, fine, is equal to n. If equal to n, I'm saying break. Else, I'm saying print val. So what this will do? See, the moment I have my n encountered, this loop will get terminated. It will only print dha. niche will not be printed. See this? Oh, I'm sorry. This should be I. So the niche is not printed. Correct or not? This is about break. So once it encounters a break, there the loop gets terminated. Okay, what happens for continue? I in val, if I in, then I say continue. Continue means what it does. If n is encountered, it continues. It continues without printing n, without printing n, which means it will print the ish instead of the nish. See this? See, n is not printed. Could you see the difference between this was earlier? This was earlier. The now the ish n is gone. How it is happening? Because of the continue. When the moment it encounters n, it continues the loop without printing. Whereas in this case, the moment it encounters n, it breaks the loop. So continue ensures that the loop continues without a break. So that's it. And moreover, in the last thing also, you saw the usage of break. When the user enters 10, the loop gets terminated. So that's it with respect to break and continue, guys. See, my objective of putting this in this video is to make sure that you understand the basics. Of course, we are going to touch upon some advanced examples as we move on, but you should also know the basics very clearly. Only when you are aware of the basics, then we can build the building blocks. So make sure that you are understand. I'm going with very basics. It's not at all advanced. Please understand that. These are very, very, very basic, the most tiniest blocks of Python programming. So learn this perfectly without any inch of doubt. Only then the advanced parts will be very easy for us. Getting that? Okay. The last one is for this chapter is this pass. So remember when we see quiz programs in TV, when the participants don't know the answer, they use this word, right? Pass. So what do you mean by pass? Pass means I don't have any answer. Go to the next person. So same way here also pass is used. Say normally in Python when we write a if condition or a while loop or a for loop, fine, it's mandatory that I write some code for that particular statement. But believe me, in not in all cases you will have that idea also what code to be written. So under such cases, when you can use this word pass. For example, see here. Let's say I have a if condition. I say n equal to 10. I have a if condition n is equal to 10. Fine. Now I don't know what to do with that. I right now I don't have fine the right logic for that. But for else I have the logic. Fine. I have the logic. Else I don't know what to write here. So immediately see it's giving an error. Fine. So I have to write something. One of the ways to overcome this is you can say like this something dummy. But again, we may think that we have completed the loop then. So the best way to say that I am yet to write something is type pass. Type pass. So pass means pass. I don't have answer right now. I will answer it later. So if I do that, if not 11 means the else part will automatically get executed. You know that. So if I have something, I write. If I don't have anything, we just say pass. We just say pass. This is common for all the statements. Either it could be methods, or it could be classes, or it could be functions, or it could be no I mean yeah, functions and methods both are same, or it could be if conditions or for loop or while loop or do while loop. Wherever you don't have a code, you right now don't have a code to be written, then use the keyword pass. Got it? Is that clear? That's all, guys. That's all we have of chapter 2. In this chapter 2, we have understood, we have learned if else if elif, as far as Python is concerned. Correct or not? Number 2, we have also learned for. Okay, one new thing you learned, a collection called range, right? Basics of range. And then we understood how range can be used to read a collection using for loop, and also the else part in for loop, which is something new as far as Python is concerned, from compared to other languages. Then we understood while loop, preconditional check loop. Difference between for and while is for is for finite conditions, while we can use it for infinite conditions. While loops we call it as repeatedly. Do while is where the condition is post checked. So direct support we don't have for do while in Python. So we use a conditional check, and then we use the statement break. So we also learned what is break and continue. Break will terminate the loop, continue will continue the loop. That's what it is. And finally we have also understood the keyword called pass. So very important for us, because not in all cases we will have a code immediately. So to overcome that problem in Python, we have this pass. Write pass, finish up the code. When you have the details what to be written inside that time you fill that. Till the time you can have it as pass. Okay, thank you very much. We have completed chapter 2 of Python. Thank you.